Scientists claim that the Earth will be destroyed within 100 years. According to their predictions, all Arctic ice will melt within 20 years, and the Earth's temperature will rise by 7 degrees Fahrenheit, making most of the Earth uninhabitable and putting humans at risk of extinction. Ironically, the cause of human extinction is humans themselves. The crisis of human extinction depicted in the movie Interstellar will actually happen within 100 years. Why do scientists make such a claim? About 500 million years ago, creatures started living on land. Over time, the Earth has gone through big disasters that killed off many living things. These disasters are called mass extinctions and happen every 100 million years or so. There have been 5 major ones so far, and the most recent happened 65 million years ago. A meteorite hit Earth, causing a huge rise in temperature that wiped out almost all dinosaurs and 75% of all living things. This disaster changed which kinds of creatures were in charge of the planet. After the big extinction, the Earth started to cool down, and this took 65 million years. Eventually, this led to a time period called the Holocene Epoch. During this time, things were very stable. For the past 10,000 years, the temperature on Earth has stayed about the same, changing only a little bit, around 1 degree. The reason for this stability is because the Earth's ecosystem is very important in controlling the climate and keeping things in balance. Forests and tiny ocean plants called plankton take in CO2 from the air and turn it into nutrients for the soil. This happens because all the different plants and animals on Earth work together. This teamwork has helped keep our planet stable and at a good temperature for humans to live. People started to settle down and build communities when they could rely on the stable environment. This is when civilization began. When people live close together, they can create things like writing, civilization, and science. Humans have developed really quickly. Since factories and machines were invented, we've learned a lot about science and technology really fast. We've changed the Earth so much that we can find things we need anywhere on the planet, and we can travel anywhere too. But this has caused some problems. Let's look at how humans live. We've used up a lot of the Earth's resources, and we're hurting the many different kinds of living things that help keep things balanced. In 1940, the fashion item with the pattern of a leopard seal became popular, and the leopard seal became a target for humans. The number of leopard seals, which used to be in the tens of thousands, decreased to less than 1/5. In 1978, Asian elephants that had ivory tusks in the Serengeti grasslands became a target for humans. There were only 200 Asian elephants left out of the 55,000 that used to inhabit the area. Species targeted by humans had nowhere to hide on Earth. Not only these examples, but it is estimated that there are over 37,000 animal species classified as endangered due to human activity. Humans have been very successful in increasing their numbers on Earth. In 1980, the world population grew exponentially to reach 4 billion people, compared to around 2 billion in the 1930s. It doubled in just 50 years. After 1980, things became even more relaxed, as humans managed to conquer many deadly diseases and predators. This led to boundless prosperity for humanity. However, we have been using up Earth's resources at an alarming rate, leading to the destruction of nature and the rapid disappearance of animal habitats. For example, the number of orangutans on the island of Borneo has gone down by 2/3 in the past 60 years. Cutting down forests can make people money. They sell the wood and then use the land for farming to make even more money. Because of this, we have lost over 3 trillion trees and more than half of tropical rainforests. But we can't keep cutting down forests without thinking about the consequences. It's not sustainable. Many animals have disappeared and only a few have survived. The process of mass extinction is happening because of humans today. It's a matter of fact that humans are responsible for the disappearance of animals. If humans continue to consume and destroy the Earth, then eventually all systems will reach a tipping point and collapse. The effects of this are getting closer to us. The Earth's usual temperature is now around 2 degrees higher than it was when factories started. Because of this, Utah had 16 days of temperatures over 100 degrees last summer, which is the highest since 1874 when they started keeping records. Each year, 6,000 to 7,000 people in the U.S. die from heat-related issues. This winter, Wyoming experienced very cold weather with temperatures as low as -20 degrees, and Buffalo, New York had a big snowstorm with 43 inches of snow. This was the biggest winter storm ever in Buffalo's history. Nowadays, our world can be much hotter or much colder than before. The trouble is that these things will keep getting worse in the future. In the last 500 million years, there were moments when the Earth's temperature was as high as it is today. But the difference is that it has never gone up as quickly as it is now. The reason for this is fossil fuels, methane gas, and other gases that cause the greenhouse effect. For the past 200 years, we have put as much carbon emissions into the air from coal and oil as living things would make in hundreds of thousands of years if they were burned. This has never happened before on Earth. As the Earth gets hotter, it makes more gases that cause the greenhouse effect and melts the Antarctic, making the temperature go up even more. The ice on the sea in the Arctic during summer has gotten 40% smaller. This is causing huge problems for nature. Places that were always covered in ice are now easy to reach by boat. The ocean has already taken in a lot of heat from people's actions, and it can't take any more. In the last 80 years, the Earth's average temperature has gone up by about 2 degrees. Before people came along, the temperature didn't change. But in the last 100 years, we have been releasing a lot of gases that hurt the Earth. People are still hurting nature in a big way. We have cut down half of the tropical rainforests since factories started. 30% of sea creatures are gone, and 80% of freshwater creatures are gone. Now, 70% of all birds are ones we take care of for food, and a third of all animals are ones we raise for food. We're using all the natural places and hurting them so we can have things we want. Scientists say that in the 2030s, parts of Africa will turn into dry deserts, and the Amazon rainforest will be replaced by a dry plain. Many animal species will disappear, and changes in the water cycle will occur. In the Arctic, there will be no ice left during the summer, and this will make the Earth hotter. By the 2040s, all the glaciers in the Arctic will have melted away, and this will make global warming worse. By the 2050s, coral reefs worldwide will die out, and this will cause many fish and other marine animals to become extinct. By 2080s, the land that used to be farmland will have become barren, and there will be less food. By 2100, the Earth's temperature will rise 7 degrees higher than it is now, and this will make most living things go extinct. If we do not solve these problems now, human civilization will collapse, and many living things will disappear forever. But can we do anything to stop this from happening? The answer is yes. We can restore the Earth. Biologists say that in just 100 years, all species on Earth can reach their maximum population again, allowing our planet to return to its previous natural state. This is a number that can be sustained by the Earth's natural resources. We also need to control the population growth. The world population is currently over 7.6 billion, and if we continue at this rate, it will exceed 11 billion by 2100. Scientists suggest that we slow down the population growth rate and maintain a reasonable level before the year 2100. The next big thing is renewable energy. We are slowly moving away from using things like coal and oil, which can harm the environment, and instead using sources like the sun, wind, water, and heat from the Earth. Experts think that in 20 years, most of our energy will come from renewable sources. This is great news because we can get energy from these sources almost anywhere, and it's much cleaner than using coal or oil. We won't have to worry about running out of these energy sources or making the air in cities dirty. Let's look at Morocco as an example. They used to depend on oil and gas for most of their energy, but now they have the biggest solar power plant in the world. This plant gives more than 40% of the electricity to people's homes. By 2050, Morocco might be able to sell solar energy to other countries, which would be amazing. How about the ocean? The ocean covers most of the Earth's surface and is home to many different kinds of animals and plants. When there are lots of different kinds of living things in the ocean, it helps to reduce the amount of carbon in the air. That's why it's important to keep the ocean healthy and full of life. Let's take a look at Palau, an island country in the Pacific. Palau's main industries are fishing and tourism. When the fish resources began to decline, Palau took action. They proposed a solution by completely prohibiting fishing in several areas. Surprisingly, the fish population quickly recovered, and fish spread to the areas where fishing was allowed. As time passed, local fishermen's catch increased, and the previously dead corals came back to life. According to marine biologists, if only 1/3 of the ocean is designated as a no-fishing zone, humanity can secure fish resources for eternity while also preserving the marine ecosystem. Plus, it would help slow down climate change. We need to use less land for farming so we can give more space back to nature. The Netherlands is a good example of how to do this. Dutch farmers have made big improvements in how much food they can grow on each piece of land they have. They have also made farming more sustainable by using fewer chemicals and making less pollution. Even though the Netherlands is a small country, they still sell lots of food to other places. They use high-tech farming methods to grow lots of food on just a little bit of land. If other places do the same thing, we can use less land for farming and have more land for nature. Nowadays, we can even grow food inside buildings in cities, so we don't need actual land. This means we can give more land back to nature. We have to do this to help the planet. It's important for us to plant more trees and bring back forests. Forests are really good at keeping carbon dioxide out of the air and are important for all the different kinds of plants and animals that live there. Experts say we need to stop cutting down forests right away. If we want to grow things like palm trees or crops, we should only do it on land that used to have forests but doesn't anymore. There's no need to cut down more trees to grow crops. We need to work with nature instead of hurting it. We have to find a way to live in a way that doesn't harm the earth. We need to do this to help ourselves, not just the planet.